Yeah, hi guys. Very good evening. Hmm. So let's start the session. So taking forward from the last class, in the last class we have seen like what is the life cycle of data science and what is a data analysis. That is the first five steps. What is there that comes under the data analysis that includes like business requirement, data wrangling, data exploration, data cleansing, and data mine. Okay. And here is a second part where, you know, you'll be seeing over here as um, model building, model training, model testing, prediction, and deployment. Okay. Now, this part is called as data analysis. This is the data analysis and data analytics. Okay. So we are going to go deeply into this after. Now I explained you yesterday what is data analysis. It is a process of analyzing the historic data to find the answers to the current situation. Okay. What is analytics? It is a technique through which we can analyze historic data to predict series of future events. Whatever will be happening in the future, that you can predict it over here. Okay. Okay. Now, let's take it to the next level. So, this is our life cycle of our data science. Why it is not going? It looks very odd. 1 second, guys. Okay. Now, there's a first part will be there. This is the first part, which we consider that as data. Okay. Data analysis. And this is a second part, which we will consider this as a data analytics. Right. Now we are going to look into this. First one, the business requirement is nothing but the client requirement. Okay. Whatever the client is giving us as in the form of project. So based on that requirement, we are going to collect the data over here. Okay. That is what is called as business requirement. Now, next one is data wrangling. Data wrangling is nothing but it is data collection. Data wrangling is nothing but it is a process of collecting the data. Now, in fact, you can see it as it is a process of collecting the data, transforming the data, and mapping the data. Okay, so you are going to collect the raw data, and this data, what we are going to do it, we are going to, it's a process of collecting the data, transformation of the data, mapping of data to form a meaningful format, to make a meaningful format. That is what is called as data wrangling. It is a process of collecting data. Next, transformation of data, or we can say it as at a time I can use it, collection, transformation, and mapping of data to make it more meaningful for further use. Okay? Now, this wrangling is also called as data munging. Data wrangling is also referred as data munging. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, someone has put me a message over here. Kolluru. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay,
Yeah, you are
that's
audible, sir.
thank you. Okay. Now, this is what is called as data wrangling. Now, data wrangling is nothing but collection of data. Now, you may get an immediate thought that, okay, data wrangling means collection of data. Okay. How you collect the data? How you collect the data actually? So, this collection of data is divided into two parts. Now, one more thing I want to say it. Collection of data is pretty much mandate. Yesterday, I was saying it the same thing. That is, you are not going to get the data from the client. No way. You will not just keep that up like that. You can't get it. Keep that aside. Okay. So you will not get the data from the client. So you have to collect the data. Now, if you get a thought like, okay, now there is LLM is there. LLM is there. Now LLM is trained with the data which is available over the internet, maximum data which is available over internet. Still we require data. Yes. Yes. Why means LLM will be having the internet is having a generic data. Okay, very much generic data. Now there will be some data which is very confidential, like customer information. Now you can't get the customer information over the internet, over the what do you call it as over the social media, right? No, you can't get it. So yeah, you may say that I found it. There are some leakages. That is exceptional cases. Usually, when you take the customer data or like citizens data, this all you will not get it so easily or over the over the like internet or like social media or something like that. So if you want to train your model with the customer specific data, your confidential data, then definitely you have to collect the data, and then you will be preparing the data as per the client requirement, and you're going to train the model, and that model, if it performs very good, then we will give the original data. This would be the process. If the bank comes to us and it says that, okay, I want you to prepare a model so that it can work for my customers. Now, definitely don't expect that the bank will give you the customer data. No way. So what they can do it is they will give you a copy of that data. Like copy in a sense like format. And it says a format of the data, or masked data they will give it, not full-fledged, like some pictures, some screenshots about how the data look like. Based on that, we are going to prepare the data. Okay. And then after preparing the data, that data we are going to give it to the model and see that whether the model is running perfectly or not. Okay. Now, once that model is running perfectly, then we will train the model with the original data. This is the actual process what we follow. Okay, the customer data will, or the bank or the organization confidential data will never be provided to us. So yeah, usually the collection of the data, like data wrangling, is done in two ways. Okay, one is called as primary data collection. Second one is called as secondary data collection. First one is primary data collection. Second one is secondary data collection. So what is a primary data collection? See, we will be dealing with some unique situations. Okay, these are not a common case study you will be doing. Some specific case study, some specific organization case study, or specific situation what you are doing it. In that case, that data you will not find over the internet. That's for sure. You will not find the data over the internet. In that case, what we are going to do it is, we are going to, collect the data on our own from the scratch. We are going to collect the data on our own from the scratch. This is called as, primary data collection. Clear? What is a primary data collection? When there is a unique case study is there where we can't get the data over the internet, okay, then we are going to collect the data from the scratch. So this is called as primary data collection. Okay? It
Any
is a process.
examples?
Yeah, I'm going to give it just a minute. It's a process of collecting the data from the scratch. Okay? They are collecting the data from the scratch. It's a process of collecting the data from the scratch as per the requirement. So this is called as, primary data collection. Now, the best example I can give it is, suppose, just think that there is an organization. Let's take it. The name of organization is ABC. This is a organization ABC. We can say it as ABC. Now, what is this you are doing is, this organization is having nearly around 150 employees. Okay. Now, it has been observed that from past maybe 1 month or 2 months, every week, at least minimum 2 to 3 employees are resigning. It's been observed that like past 2 to 3 weeks, that means like 10 to 15 or 20 employees have been resigned. Now, this is like actually a triggering point to the company because very frequently the people are resigning. So what they will do it is, they will take the necessary measures to make sure that they are holding the employees. Because hiring the employee is really a big task. Okay. Now, we may look from the other side that I'm not getting a job or something like that. But at the same time, the company also is very, very desperate to get the qualified people hired. Now, sometimes after doing all the hiring process and after releasing the offer letter also, people will not join. They will take over the better offer, okay, showing that offer what they have it. Okay. So this is actually, this is the actually the what do you call it as the problem. So so what they did it is, they gave this ABC company has given you a project. What is a project is, yours is a much smaller company. So they wanted to find out the satisfactory level of these employees of their company. Now, obviously, the HR is there, but HR, they will not open up. Every time they will say, okay, we are fine, everything is fine. And right at the moment, they will put on the papers. They will not give the exact reason. Now, the company wanted to actually find out what will be the reason. So this is a company, your company, that is XYZ. Now, what your company will do is like, you want to find out what is the employee satisfactory level with the job and what is the problem they are facing. Okay. So in that case, okay, this 150 employees, whatever is there, whoever is left out, 120 or 130 or 140, the whoever is left out, they want to make sure that they want to retain these people. They don't want to lose them. So now we got the project. Now what you are going to do? Where we are going to get this, where exactly you are going to get this data? Where, over the internet or over the social media? Where you will get it? Over the website? Where you will get this data? How you can get this data? Where you will find it? Nowhere. This is a industry specific problem. This particular company problem over here. You may get it the other company employee details, but here you have to find out this company employee details. What's the problem? So what you do it? You have to meet them one-to-one. Maybe they may come up of professionally some problems. Or you have to establish a relationship with them in such a way that they are coming up with their actual problems. Or meeting them over the coffee shop, or meeting them over the somewhere off the record, something like that. Okay, these are some of the process you are going to perform or you are going to implement to grab the information what is required. Based on that, you will give your report to the company and the company higher management will take the necessary action. This is what exactly happens with your, primary situations where you won't get the data from that over the internet. Then we have to do it on our own. So that is what is called as primary data collection. Okay, this is what it is. Now, okay. Now, what are the approach? What will be your approach over this? So you will conduct the interviews, or you will coordinate with them. Okay. Like you will do a survey, or you will monitor them. And there are so many are there over here. Survey, you will do your own research, etc. This is the primary data collection. Okay. Now, again, this is very rarely you will come across. So again, when it is a primary data collection, okay. Now, one of the major advantage with the primary data collection is, the data is 100% reliable. 100% it is reliable. Because we are collecting the data, we are doing on our own, so there is no chance of any error. So here, data is 100% reliable. We will get it a reliable data. Okay. Now, what are the disadvantages of this? This is advantages. Advantage. And what is the disadvantage over here? Disadvantage is, can anyone say what will be the disadvantage on this?
I'm taking.
Yeah, it's a time consuming. Next,
Accuracy. Accuracy.
accuracy will be perfect.
Perfect.
Accuracy is 100% accurate data. Reliable data means perfect, or I can put on a word, accurate data. Okay, reliable data and accurate data. Okay. Now, what is the disadvantage? Here, first one is it is a time consuming. Okay, time consuming. Because definitely it will take time, guys. It will not just happen in a single day. Now, if it is 150 people means you have to spend some time. And the second part is you need the resources. You can't do it on your own. Now, if you want to do it on your own, it will take a lot and lot of time. The client will not wait so many days. They wanted everything to be wind up very fast, and they want to know the reason, and so that they can take the necessary precautionary measures, right? So in this case, we need the resources, and hiring the resources for them is pretty expensive. So it is an expensive process or approach. I can say it as expensive approach. Clear? So what is the advantages is reliable and accurate data, and the disadvantages is it's a time consuming, and then it is pretty expensive. Time consuming and pretty expensive process. Okay, this is what is called as the primary data collection. Now again, you may ask me, what are these chances of implementing this one? I can say it as 10%. Very, very rarely you will come across this situation. Okay, now, like one of the projects I told you, like that a very rare scenario where you are not working on the common use case, then you will be going with this. Now, the next one is secondary data collection. What is the secondary data collection? See, secondary data collection is nothing but you are using the data which is collected by someone else. That is, you have some, common use case. Okay. So let's take it that you are working on some common use case. In that, when you are working on common use case, there is a good chance that you may get the data over the internet, readily available data. Of course, you have to do some measures. You have to do some measures, precautionary measures, all these things. But there's a good chance that you will get the data. Now, I will tell you an example also. So, what is this secondary data collection means? So, based on the common use case, there is a good chance of data is available, or we may get the data readily available over the internet. Okay, or from other sources. I will give it as based on common use case. I will tell you what is this comes about. Or we can say that common case study. Common case study. Okay, based on the common case study, there is a good chance of getting readily available data over internet. Available data over internet or over available online. Online, I will do this. Okay, online. Now, again, here, it's like something, guys. Someone else has already worked on his own project. He collected the data and he implemented the project. Finished. That data will be there. We are going to get the data and we are going to implement that data on our own project. Okay, just take it a small example. So, you have your friend. Let's take it your colleague, not colleague, your friend. Let's take it your friend. He was 6 months back. He was working on a project where he was doing a research work that, like, what age people, okay, what age group people prefer which social media site. He's doing a research work, that's it. Okay, there are very popular social media sites like Facebook, there is Instagram, there is YouTube, there is X, Twitter, WhatsApp, and all these things. Now, what he did it was, maybe 6 months back, this guy, he has done a research that what age group people are using which social media site. Now, if you take it like teenagers, they prefer to go with the Instagram. If you take the Facebook, maybe Facebook, sometimes the teenagers only, they like to go with this or middle-aged people. YouTube, again, it depends, like maybe middle-aged people. This one also a middle-aged people. And YouTube may be also favorite of the old age people also. The young kids also may want to go with the YouTube because they will be having a lot of cartoons over there and all those things. Okay. Now he finished it off. Okay. He's done the research work. And now you got a project. This is you. After 6 months, you got a project. In your project, okay, now what is that you want to do it is you have a client. Now client has a product. He's having a product. This product is majorly used by the age group like 20 to 40. Okay, he may be having some product, maybe some cream or some product. Okay, this product is majorly used by the age group of 20 to 40. Now he is having his own budgetary constraints. He can't go and he want to do the publicity or publicize that product. So he can't go to all the national media and the regional media and he can't do it because he's having own his budgetary constraints. So what he want to do it is he want to go to a particular social media site, and this social media which is used by the age group between 20 to 40, and he want to use that one and he want to do the publicity. Now, obviously, now already we know there is previously your friend has already worked over here. He's having this data, he's having the complete results. Take that data and then you utilize for this. Maybe this maybe the age he must have different segregated, maybe different, maybe like 15 to 25 and 25 to maybe 40. Okay, and 40 to 60 and old age like that. Clear? This was his segregation, but our is 20 to 40, and also this one we have to consider. So we will take this data and then we are going to utilize for our own project. Now till here it is okay, perfect. No doubt about that, it is perfect. But the real challenge over here is we are completely relying on a external person to implement your own project. We are not sure that it is just a research work he's done it. He's not implementing any project. But on this research papers, what he has done it, we are implementing our project. Now it is a very risky move. There is a good chance that this guy, to perform his research, he must have got some fake data. Or he must have not done a lot of research work to make sure that he is getting a genuine data. So there will be a lot of situations which will be raising this point. So what you are doing is you are taking the risk of your life to believe on the third party to get his data, and you are implementing. So this is one of the major risk factor with this secondary data collection. Okay, so what are the sources you will be? Here your source will become a very, very important from where you collect it. The best way to collect the data is from the government websites. Now you may ask me that government people must be sometime putting the wrong data. Usually they will not do that. Okay, we can trust it like 80 to 90% times. The government people will avoid putting the wrong data over the social media, or sorry, over the website. Okay, so next one is news articles. News article. So obviously, whenever there is a news article, they will do the enough groundwork before publishing them. Okay, if you are before publishing, they will definitely do their groundwork. If they are doing something wrong, it will be reversely, it will affect them reversely over there. Okay, now next one is government website, news articles. I will give it as news articles. It's not new articles. Then there is a electronic media. or print media. Yeah, still the electronic and print media, they will do their own research work over there before publishing the things. Now, next, there is something like research papers. Research papers, in a sense, the people who are doing their own research and publishing the papers. Again, they will have all the required sources from where they got it, how they came to the conclusion, everything they will be there inside that. So you can trust them. Okay. Now, next one is online repository. What do you mean by online repository? Means there may be some online databases, like the best example is Kaggle. Kaggle is an online database where you will find all the data over there. That's what it is. Now, next one you can go with. Lastly, we can rely on social media. Now, this social media, most of the time, there will be a false information will be circulating over there. So I will not say that each and every information is false, but most of the time. Most of the time, the information what we are going to provide it is false information. So now, what is the advantage of this? Yes, can someone say me what is the advantage of this?
Quick, it's fast,
Yeah, less time
less expensive.
consuming and less expensive. Right? Next one. Disadvantage. See here, it is non-reliable. Okay? It is non-reliable. We can't trust it. We can't prove it. So you have to believe the source. That's it. You can't prove it that that data is genuine or that data is wrong. We can't do that. Okay? So again, so now a simple question, guys. If you get a chance, which one you want to go with? You want to go with the primary data collection or you want to go with the secondary data collection? Yes?
It again depends on the requirement sometimes. Like if you want it, if you have time, then I think go for primary data collection because it's reliable resource. But if you don't have time and you want to show some kind of projections and all, then I think the second option of secondary data.
Yeah, that looks perfect. It purely depends upon the situation what we are in. Okay. Now, if you have an option of getting the data from the online sources, take that data and make sure that you are taking from a reliable source. Okay. If you are in a situation where you don't find the data at all, just now I gave a small example of like a company ABC. That data you can't find it online. You may find other company employee details, but you will not find this particular company details over the online. Okay, so over the internet. So this is something which you have to be very keen on looking at. Okay, so the most of the time in the world of AI, okay, most of the time, whenever we are dealing with a project, 90% of the time we will be going with the secondary data.
So, sir, like we can mention advantage as a large data sets also because we will get the large data, right? From the secondary.
Yeah, you can keep it, no problem. We will have the large volume of data.
It was advantage, not disadvantage, I guess.
Which one? Large volume?
Large volume will be the
This will
advantage,
be
right?
advantage. This is an advantage. Sorry for that. It's my bad. I will do it over here.
So we are talking about the requirement data sets, right? So if you consider that on online shopping, So what will be the like online shopping? What can we expect like a primary data collection or the secondary data collection? How it will be go? Can you explain for 1 second? That
Online shopping data?
yeah. So I was confused. Like we are training something or we are getting the infrastructure details how it will work or there I was stuck.
No, we are not getting the data for doing some research work. We are going to get the data to train our model.
It is basically to train our model. We need like the transactions and all. So you are pointing out to related to that data. We are collecting these data sets, right?
So we are collecting that data and we are going to use that data like for training purpose. Tomorrow, what by looking at that data, the person data, it will easily say that whether he is a potential customer or not a potential customer. Then you don't need to waste on the non-potential customers.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so hope you got the point. Now, for your first question, you are asking that now if you are going to take an e-commerce, now you will go with the primary collection or secondary. Now just imagine, just be very practical. E-commerce means now if you take it an Amazon customer or Flipkart customers, these people are around the India. Now India is a very big country and the population is really huge. Okay. Now, how can you go and collect the people from the different parts of India, different customer details? It is not possible. Practically, it is not possible. Then in that case, we have to go with the secondary data collection. Now, again, secondary data collection means I'm not saying that go with the social media. No, you can go and buy the customer details from the concerned department or concerned organization. I'm not talking about Amazon will sell us their details. But for example, now you take it, now we are doing a research work over here. Which age group people are doing it. Now you go to the Facebook, they will be charging some amount to get the data of their customers. They will do that. So there will be a source will be there. So I'm not like it is not sometimes it is next to impossible to go with the primary data collections. In that case, we have to do it the secondary data collection. There's no other option. But only thing is that you have to be very, very cautious about the source from which you are collecting. Because otherwise, if you are very much like you are ignoring that source and you are taking whatever is coming on your way, then you are ruining your project. Complete project is ruined. Okay, so that's what the thing over here. Now, okay, after
Shrikant,
doing this,
I
yeah,
have a query. So you are saying the secondary data collection, right? You are saying the disadvantage is like non-reliable data means there will be a chances of mismatch in the data quality and there will be a chances of data discrepancies. Is there any scenario where we can go with both the approaches, primary data collection and secondary data collection? Because the disadvantage is showing as non-reliable data. We cannot believe on the data, whatever we collect, right, through online or social media, whatever the sources we have. So is there any scenario where can we go with the both the approaches or else you suggest only the secondary one is the best one?
it's not that like, now the best example I can say it is, the election in India. Election in India, now, like, for example, take it as you are working in a media organization. Now, definitely we will be doing a exit polls every time. Okay. Now, your media office is present in the metro cities. Okay. Just imagine metro cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, and maybe Hyderabad and Bangalore, some big cities. Now you want to, there's a national elections are going on and you want to apply, you want to do the exit polls, you want to get it. Now, what you will be doing is, as you are physically present in some cities, there you would like to go with the primary data. Okay. Now, there will be a tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities across the India. You have to consider them also. Definitely. Then in that case, you can't send each and every person to that area and you can't do it a physical research. No. In that case, we have to go with the secondary data collection. What is the opinion of the previous? What is the previous elections? What happened? The state level elections. What are the people are what was the people opinion over there? And based on that, you will be concluding the national election. So this I'm just giving you some example, just where you can apply both the scenarios. Where you can apply, you are available in major cities, you can go with the primary data collection. As you are not present in the entire rest of India, you may consider the previous collections, whatever done it, previous recent elections, what they have done it, local elections. Based on there, you can rate the pulse of that particular voters. Hope
got it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So this is the way you can do it. Clear? Now, this is only collection of data. You collected the data. Now, this plays a very, very important role. Okay, this relevancy of the data plays a really very important role. Once you get a relevant data, guys, okay, now the second challenge starts for us. What is the second challenge is, when you got the data, sometimes what happens, in that data, some part of the data is not required for us. Okay, some part of the data is not important for us. If you are going to consider that data also, unnecessarily you are putting on extra burden on your models. So, like a simple example, now, like you want to rate an employee, okay? Rate an employee for his hike cycle, okay? You want to rate him on basis of his performance. Now, you don't know, like you are a senior management person. Now you want to rate the employee. Now you requested the HR people and provide the details of the employees. Now he provided the details. Now let's take it. It's a very much finite, a small organization, which may be having like 50 to 100 employees. So now you asked, being a senior management person, you asked the HR. HR has provided all the details. Now, when you look at the employee details, now you will be having so many details will be included over there, like employee ID, employee name, employee experience, employee technology, employee education, employee address, employee dependence, that is the number of dependents on the employee. I'm talking about the HR data. HR data. I'm talking about the HR data. Now, next one, the projects is like previous organization. I'll give it as organization, and current organization, time spent on current organization, number of projects involved in the current organization. Okay. Number of projects involved, current role. Okay, I will give it as current role. Now, this information you got it. Okay. Now, in this is the data you got it. What you were expecting from the HR, you got it. Many more will be there. Just I cut short these ones. Okay. Now, in this, which one will be important for you so that you can judge the person performance and you can recommend him for a hike? See, in this, there will be some data which is not required for us, and some data which is very, very crucial for us. Now, for example, like his education is, I don't think so. Once an employee is already, he is in our company. Now, based on his previous education, you will not give him the hike. definitely you will consider his your highest priority will be his performance. So I don't think so these three are required for us. Okay. Now there may be like his previous organization. What we have to do with the previous organization to make him give a hike currently? So it doesn't make any sense. Okay. Now these are the ones, I may say that which is not important for us. I can just pull it off. Now, these are the ones which helps me to understand the performance of a person. His technology, maybe he is in the trending technology. Okay. Now, how many current organization, like how much time he spent? I mean, say his current organization means how many, like since how long he is there with our current organization. Second, number of projects he is actively involved. Okay. And current role, what is the current role? How fast he is been growing like. Okay. These all things we will be considering him for the taking to the next level. So if you are unnecessary stuff, you are keeping it over here. You are putting on the extra burden on your model. So you should be very, very careful while selecting the important columns. This is usually we will call it as feature selection. We call it as feature selection. Okay. So now we selected it. Now you may say that on what base? Now this one we know it. We are looking at the organizations. We have been working in the organizations. We know everything, how the things goes on. So I am easily able to say it. Now sometimes what happens, some data will be so complicated. We can't decide which one is important for us. Now, for example, now there is some data is there about the how to say it, like diamond data is there. Usually what happens, each and every diamond, they will be having their edges and their angles. They will have their own measurement. Okay. This all, if you take it, I never worked with the diamond. I don't know what angle the diamond should be, which one is important column, which one is not important. I don't know. Then in that case, how will decide which one is better? I don't know. I can't do that. I'm not the right guy. Diamond expert is a right guy who can do that. Hope you are getting the point, guys. So here, to do this data exploration. Okay, this point is called as data exploration. Exploring the data or examining the data so that we can find the potential columns or potential data only. And the data which is not so important for us, we can delete them. Now, when it is possible, when you have the domain knowledge. Now, this is where the people who are from a different domains really will be useful for us to selecting the right data. Okay. So this is how the next level will happen. The next level, we call it as data exploration. What do you do it? The data which is coming from here, that is like the data which is given from the given out from the data wrangling, that will come down over here. And this data, what is our data exploration? Exploration is nothing but examining the large volume of data and performing the feature selection. Feature selection. Examining large volume of data to perform feature selection. Now, you may ask me, what is a feature? See, guys, whenever you take it, okay, I know that you know this all, just I'm doing a small formality. So this is our tabular data, right? We usually call it as tabular data. This is also, we call it as, this is a table. And we also call this as schema. Schema. If this is a database terminology, we also call it as schema, or we call it as tabular data. Okay, you can do it anything. Now, this has two major components. This one, this one, this one, this one. These are called as rows, or these are also called as records, or sometimes we will call it as samples. Okay, these are the three terms we are going to use it for them: rows, records, or samples. Now here, these are called as columns. Generally we use the word columns, or we call it as features, or sometimes we will also call it as entity, or sometimes we also call it as variable. Okay, now in this, you remember these things. That is, rows, you know it very commonly. Records and samples. Records and samples, both you have to remember it. In this, if you remember these two, that is more than enough. Features and columns. Now, feature selection means whichever the columns important, we are going to perform, select it. That is what is called as feature selection over here. That is, it is a process of selecting the important features. It is nothing but it is a process of selecting the important features. Okay. This is what is called as data exploration. Okay. Now again, for this, the domain knowledge is required for us. Okay. Now once you have done with this part, the next important thing is here we are going to select the important features. Okay. We are going to select the important features, that is important columns. We are not going to the data level checking. We are not doing the data level, only the structure level. Which column are important we are taking, which column is not important we are deleting. That is what we are doing it over here in a basic terminal. Now, when it comes to the next one, that is called as data cleansing. The next one we call it as data cleansing. What do you mean by data cleansing is, see, after doing the necessary selection, feature selection, you will pass it on this data to the next level. Okay, that is what the next level is. You can see this here. First, we will collect the data. Yes. After doing the collection, we will do the data exploration. That is, we are going to explore the data to check it out, which column is important for us and which one is not important. Which part of the data is important for us and which one is not important. Okay. After this, what I'm going to do it is, I'm going to take it to the next level called as data cleansing. Data cleansing. Data cleansing is nothing but we are going to pull off the data level errors. Okay, data level errors. Now you should understand over here, column level means the exploration means we will collect the columns, whichever is important. After selecting the columns, inside that there will be data. Inside this data, the data, what are the errors are there, we are going to identify them. Okay, we are going to identify those errors. And after that, what you want to do it's up to you. You want to rectify that one with a proper value, or you want to just delete that one, it's up to you. Okay, so that is what is called as data cleansing. So what is data cleansing actually? If you want to put it on, see, data cleansing is a technique through which we identify the inaccurate and incorrect data and perform the necessary actions. Okay, necessary rectification or process. We will perform necessary rectification process. This is what is called as data cleansing. So how you can put it on the data cleansing? It is a technique through which, so incorrect or through which incorrect, inaccurate data is identified and performed necessary rectification process. Okay, just you are going to identify the errors and you are going to perform the rectification. This is what is called as, data cleaning. Okay, now again, here there is a life cycle is involved. Data cleaning is very, very important step. Now, if you talk about technicality, here, which one will be very useful for us to perform the data cleaning is, you will be using the pandas library. If you remember yesterday, we talked about the pandas, that we are going to learn the pandas. Pandas, or we will be using the PySpark. Any of them you can use. This plays a very important role for us. And also we will use here statistics. Okay, now try to understand this. This pandas or PySpark, what you will do it is, if you show them the error, now you say that this is the error, then it will do the necessary action. You want to remove them, it will remove it. No, you want to rectify it with the proper valid data, then it will do it. Both it will do it. But you have to show that this is the error. But how to know which one is error in the large volume of data? So that you will be doing with the help of statistics. Statistics helps us to identify the errors in the data set. And once you get the errors, then the rest of the things are done by the pandas and the PySpark. What actions you have to do it on them. That is the advantage of this pandas and PySpark. Okay. Now, again, there is a life cycle is involved over here. Life cycle of data cleansing. What is the first one is, of course, you are going to import the data. Where you will be importing? This data is imported from whatever the data exported from the exploration process or wrangling process. From wrangling and exploration process. First thing. Second is, okay, I'll give it. Let's do it. Okay. Now the second one is, once you have done, you got the data from the different sources. You got the data from the exploration, or you may be getting the data from the different wrangling process, because we have seen that there will be different process will be involved with the data collection. So you got the data from the different sources. Then what you'll do it? The first thing is you are going to merge this data. Data merging. Okay, import the data, you imported the data, then you are going to merge the data, you are going to combine this data. Now, after this, the next step will be data rebuilding or rebuilding data. We will say. Now, what do you mean by rebuilding of the data? Means you are going to remove the errors from the data. Okay, it is a process of removing errors from the data. Now, what do you mean by this one is, you are having the data, you got the proper data, but data level, there is a errors are there. These errors we are going to remove. Now, the first thing you should get your mind is, what are those errors? How that errors look like, actually. In the data, there are errors. How the errors look like? See, there will be multiple different types of errors. First step in rebuilding of the data, we are going to remove the 3 types of errors. Okay, I'll just put it as types of errors. First one, I will say it as outliers. Second one, I will say it as missing values. Third one is nothing but the noisy data. Now, outliers in a sense, the values which are out of the range. Okay? out of the range is called as. Now, the best example, like we can say it as, now you are collecting the temperature of the Hyderabad. Some from past maybe 1 week, you will be collecting the temperature. You got it like 33. Okay. I'll give it as 34 and let's give it as 30 and 35 plus 32 plus 31 and plus I will go with again 35. This is the 1 week data you collected. There's no problem. Perfect it is. The temperature, what you got it is. You want to know the average divided by 7 and then you will get the average. It's perfect. 32.8. This is when you round it up, you will get it as 33. That's fine. This is fine. Perfect. Now you are taking the same data. While collecting, you have done some mistakes. Literally, you have done some mistakes. What are those mistakes? Like, for example, instead of putting over here 35, you put it as 355. You by mistake, the 5 is added. Now here is 34. I added a 0 over here by mistake. Now look at what happens. These are outliers. Because they are out of the range. You can't even imagine the Hyderabad is having a temperature of 340 or 350, which is like, you know, we will be just, it will burn it up. Okay. So it is not possible at all for humans to survive. So what we are going to do it is, if you add them and when you divide them, so look at the average temperature. About 122. Literally it will be burning around. Now, when it is, normally I took it, I got 32, this is perfect. When there is an outlier, this is a problem. So these outliers you have to identify. Now again, now don't estimate that you will be having like this. It is by naked eye, you will be very easily identifying them. But sometimes when there is like 1 lakh records are there, in that you want to find out the outliers, then you have to go with a proper mechanism. There is statistical measures we have to apply it. That is done over here. Okay. Now, next one is missing values. Now, as I told you earlier also, now if you take it like a small thing, like you have a product and we are having the price, we are having like the color and location over here. Now, just imagine you are having price is maybe around 80,000. Color, maybe it may be blue in color. Location, Hyderabad. Now, what can be this product name? What can be this product name? Can be anything. You can get a lot of things in 80,000, which will be in blue in color, and it is found in Hyderabad. Like you can take it as a laptop. Or you can take it as a laptop or mobile phone. You can get a bike. You can get an AC. You can get a fridge. All this comes under this category. But which one is the right fit over here? Now, if I ask, everyone has their own view. Literally, they will argue because of why they are justifying that particular product. Hope you are getting the point. So, this is what happens when you are dealing with the missing values. When there is a missing value, you will be in a state of confusion. This is called as ambiguity. The professional terminology is ambiguity. Whenever we have the ambiguity, then you can't deal with that data. So first you have to fill it with the appropriate values, then only we can move forward over there. So these missing values will create a lot of. So it is nothing but records with missing values. Okay. Next one is noisy data. What do you mean by noisy data? Noisy data, in a sense, irrelevant data. What do you mean by that? Irrelevant means we are expecting some data and we are getting some more data. Like, for example, take it as we wanted different students from the different cities. Provide me your climatic condition or temperature. I will say that. Now, all of them has given the in a proper note their temperature in the numerical value. Now, few of them, they didn't understand it exactly. They put on it as a rainy day or it's a cloudy day, or it is it's a very hot over here. Now, this creates a lot of problem for us, because if I want to do any of the aggregation function, like sum, average, or count, something like maximum, minimum, or something like that, you can't do it because these people has given a string value over there. So this is also creates a big problem for us. So we need to rectify these things. Now, after rectification of these things, we are having a pure data? No. Still, there are some more value, some more things we have to do it. That is called as standardization of values. What do you mean by standardization over here? Literally, like standardization in a sense, we are going to scale the data into a common standard. Okay, now a simple example I will give it over here. So you can take it. If I ask you a simple question, 800. There is 800. And there is 3 over here. Now I will ask you a simple question, which one is greater? Then you will say that 800 is greater, no doubt. 3 is not greatest, 800 is the greater. Okay, even I will accept. Now what happens? This same 800 and 3, I will add some units. Then immediately you will shift your decision to 3 kgs. 3 kgs is greater, not the 800. So now the challenge is, this is 800 grams and kg, but your system will not understand this. Your system first says 800. After this also it will say that 800 is the greatest. Clear? So this is the real challenge what we are going to face it. Okay? So this one, what we have to do it, we have to scale the data. Okay? Scaling the data, getting the data onto a same scale. The standardization is transforming the data onto the same scale. Now, what I mean is, get both of them onto the grams or get both of them onto the kgs. Like this, you can do it. 800 grams and 3000 grams. This is what it will happen. 800 grams and 3000 grams. Clear? This is by this, your model can easily understand this 3000 is greater. So this scaling is pretty much important for us. Now, next one is deduplication. What we mean by deduplication is removing of duplicates. Guys, these are the steps which are very, very important us to implement. I'm just not talking in the air just to give a process. No, we are going to implement all these things one after the other. While we are before giving the data to our model, these steps we are going to do it. That's for sure. Okay. Now here, deduplication. What do you mean by deduplication? Removing of duplicate values. And lastly, what you'll do it? Verify and enrich. What do you mean by verify and enrich is, you will re-verify the data which is collected by your subordinates, and you will make sure that there are no errors inside that. You are enriching the quality. Now, a simple example again, you can take it, if I give it to my junior subordinate, collect the data of Hyderabad temperature from past 1 year. Now, this gentleman, what he did it is, he went to a news channel and he collected all the data. Now, what is the news channel will do is like, if there is, actually it is a 32.5 degrees, okay, or 32.6, let's make it as. This, they will round it up to 33. And if there is like maybe 30.4, Maybe this may be round up to the 30 degrees. They are literally removing your 0.4 degrees. You are adding 4.4 degrees. Now, even though it may not look a bit destructive for them, for a news channel, and my subordinate doesn't understand this importance, and he collected the data. Now, as a senior, it's my duty that I should not take this rounded values. I will go to a more genuine website like ISRO's weather department or weather department website. I will get the exact temperature over here along with the decimals, and I will replace them with the rounded values. This process is called as enriching and verifying and enriching the quality. Now, once you have done with this, then your data is ready to give it to the model. Okay. Next, what do you do it? Train your model. That's what we are doing. This is again, these all are practically, we are going to see it. And whenever a person takes up as an entry level data scientist or data scientist, so their first job is this. They will be helping the data scientist to make sure that they are getting the quality data without errors. Okay. This is very, very important process. We usually call it as pre-processing. And we also call this one as feature engineering. Some of the job roles, they will be saying that they are looking for a feature engineering or feature engineer. Even though the title may be data is scientist, but there will be core stuff will be feature engineering. Here, see guys, if the data is pure, your model will be well trained with the proper data. Otherwise, your model will not train over there with the proper data. Unnecessarily, your model will be trained with the wrong data. That is what exactly happens. Clear? So, any queries you are having, guys? Any questions, please? I'm waiting for your response. After this, the nothing but the data mining. Data mining is nothing but you are going to do the data mining with algorithms. We will apply the algorithms and we will do the data mining over there. We will do the using the classification algorithm, using the regression algorithms, or we will have the group by data. This is a part of your pandas, where you will apply these things and you will go down deep down into this data and you will get the necessary inputs out of that. That's what is called as data mining. Okay. Thanks a lot for your response, guys. So I'm stopping it over here. Let's meet tomorrow to continue with our next concept. Next will be, this is a complete roadmap. Tomorrow we will start with our actual implementation using the Python. So we are going to learn the Python as per our requirement, and then we will jump into the NumPy pandas, and then we will go with the bit of statistics. Then we will move into our feature engineering, and then we will go further. Clear? Whatever we have done it over here, we will be doing a part of this over here. Clear?
Sure.
So, two things actually. One is we will be having it on the weekdays and weekends as well, classes.
See, we will start with the weekdays. And as we move, as you know, we are having a very strict deadline of 100 days. Now, definitely, I will utilize your weekends sometimes on your approval. On all of your approval, I will utilize that and I will take the classes. Because, if you want to go very